Hey everybody out there, Grant McCauley chiming in. Had pretty good response from yesterday's video on calories and energy balance, and I've got a lot of ideas to follow up on that. But first, I wanted to start off with a kind of like Grant fitness history, philosophy, and influences video. So I'm Grant McCauley. I'm 36. I am a realtor, powerlifter. Um, History kind of goes like this. Started off, I was an obese kid, so I was always like kind of like the fat, like kind of like class clown guy, and running and that kind of thing. I couldn't really do it. Like I did not like physical activity, and I can remember. So my dad played like baseball and basketball at a real high level, and I can remember as a kid, like he wanted me to go do all that, and I couldn't do it, and I hated it, and so it kind of made me not like physical activity. But there were a couple people in my life, like as a young kid, it was always kind of like, well, you're big, you're going to play football. And I kind of took to that idea. I remember my grandpa Gene used to like weigh me in and be like, man, you're a big dude, like you're going to play football, even as like 8, 9, 10-year old kid. And so I took to that idea and I thought, yeah, man, I'm gonna play football. And so when I was in fifth grade, I just went and I did become like more active, just like playing in the woods and kind of like wrestling with kids in the neighborhood. And I was always bigger, so I had a lot of momentum. So I could kind of physically punish people, and I learned that at a young age, and I liked it. And kind of like getting hit in the head and like that kind of stuff. And so when it was time to go play full contact, I just rode my bike up there and like signed up. And my coach for fifth and sixth grade junior Maroons, this was in Moline. Big shout out to Coach Perez, John Perez. He owns Adolph's. He was so motivating for me as a young kid because all these other kids were kind of scared, of contact, and I had that background from the neighborhood playing football with older kids, so I kind of knew what the contact was about. And again, I was still really big for my age. I probably weighed, I don't know, 130, probably like 130 pounds as a 10-year-old. And so I was pounding kids, and John Perez would be like, oh yeah, McCauley, that's awesome, like good job. And I really fed off that, like verbal um, positive reinforcement of that. And so yeah, and I don't know if I was really good or not or whatever, but I enjoyed it. And that began my fitness. That's the point of this story. Like that got me in, like doing jumping jacks, doing up downs, getting in a stance, sprinting, squatting, pushing people, all that kind of stuff. That's where I started. So football was my fitness from that time as a 10-year-old, through junior high. I did grow up a little bit in junior high, and as I got taller and I had that fitness component, I was probably still overweight, over fat, whatever. But that kind of saved me from a health perspective, growing as a person. So then for weight training